Hey guys, I'm Cole, and this week we are here with Mark Kilby of the Luray Zoo of Luray, Virginia. Hello, Mark.
Alright.
What kind of animal do you have there?
Oh, this is a King Cobra, the largest species of venomous snake on the face of the earth. The King Cobra can get upwards of 16, 17 feet, and this guy here is about 13 feet. This particular animal came to us back in 1998. It was owned by a young man who did venom extractions. Venomous snakes have venom that's actually used for medication, used for treating snake bites, anti-venom. So the snakes are milked for that anti-venom, and the milking process is forcing the snake to bite the cup that the venom is going to be put into, and then the venom glands are depressed. And while they're being milked, usually the guy has to grab behind the head, but you see he's not liking that. So my snakes I have here, they're not subjected to that type of behavior, so my snakes are not aggressive and defensive because of that. Now, this guy is about 30 years old. Snakes can live about 40 years, and he's been here again since 1998. What else?
What animals do the snake in the wild?
Other snakes. And that's why they call them the King Cobra for two reasons. Number one, they're the largest venomous snake on earth. Number two, that they consume other snakes. When they're babies, they'll eat lizards and sometimes amphibians, salamanders, frogs. But as adults, they primarily eat snakes. And it's mostly rat snakes. That's what they primarily eat. Not typically venomous snakes like cobras and vipers, because I don't think they taste very good, but rat snakes are delicious. And that's what they like the most. And in captivity, he eats black rat snakes here. Because the black rat snake is one of our most common species that we have here in Virginia. Occasionally they get hit by cars, and I get people that bring them to me, roadkills, and I feed them, as long as they're fresh, I feed them that. So in the wild, mainly other snakes.
What is your favorite thing about the snake?
Really easy going. My mom kept snakes as pets when I was a kid, learned a lot about them. Some are easygoing species, some are a little bit frisky, some are very, very sluggish. It really depends on the type of snake. King Cobras are fairly easy, non-aggressive species. That's why you'll see in Thailand, India, other countries, you have people that's snake charmers, because they're a very docile species. So the King Cobra is used in those aspects because they are fairly non-aggressive. And in some countries, actually, they're kept as a household pet with kids right around the house, no problem at all, because they're not an aggressive species. And so that is one reason I do really like them, because of that real easygoing behavior. They're smart too. One of the smartest snakes on earth is the King Cobra. Elapids, they're with the cobras, mambas, all the Australian venomous snakes, they're really intelligent, and they think before they act. And I like that too, because some snakes react because of stimulus, but some snakes actually think about it before they do it. And King Cobras, they think a lot about it before they do it, which is really impressive. I like that.
Are these snakes active during the day or the night?
They're active basically whenever the time is right for them to be active. In an area where their food is going to be primarily nocturnal, they'll be nocturnal. If food's primarily diurnal, they might be diurnal. Snakes are an animal that, unfortunately, this King Cobra, being the largest species of snake on earth, gets killed by a lot of predators. Just because it's venomous doesn't mean that other animals aren't going to kill and eat it. So they have to adapt to those scenarios where they're going to be able to survive without being killed and eaten by different predators. So if there's a huge owl population in the areas where a certain, like a King Cobra would live, that means they'd be less likely to be successful at night, because the owls are out hunting. The big eagle owls, the large, very big owls, easily can kill this, easily can consume this. So it's not favorable to go out at night. So it really depends on the area that they're living in. So snakes can be adapted to be more nocturnal or more diurnal, depends on what's going on.
How often do these snakes have babies, and usually how many do they have?
These are egg layers. They usually lay eggs in the springtime, and they hatch out during the summer, late fall, late summer. About 10 to 20 eggs on average. Sometimes they do reproduce every year, maybe every other year. Not a real high reproductive rate, because they're a smart snake. Some snakes, they have a slower reproductive rate because they don't need to pop out as many kids because they are smarter. They're more successful. Like garter snakes, they pop out like 50 kids because 30, 40 of them are going to be killed the first week of life because they're in the food chain. For the king cobras, the kids, they go up into trees, they have more chance for survival, so less likelihood of needing to make so many of them. What else?
I believe that will be it.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well his name is Anton. The guy that had him named him Anton. I never really named animals in my life. I was not really a big fan of trying to name them. Just never did it. I don't know if you named yours or not, but
I did.
yeah, I just never got into that. But he named him Anton, and again, he's been here for 98, 2008, that's 10 years, 5 to 17 years he's been here. Been a great guy. Now, I want to mention one thing too. I've been handling venomous snakes for over 50 years. I know what I'm doing. I work well with these animals, so they're not an animal that anybody can just pick up, but they're not an animal that's just going to attack you just because it's venomous. Yes. When people say, oh, it's a venomous snake, it's going to bite you, that's nonsense. Now, if you do get bitten by it, like you get bit by this thing, it costs you about $150,000. Yeah, it's going to cost you a bunch of money. You're probably not going to die because the hospitals, anti-venom is available in this country. You're just going to come off a bunch of money. But the fact is, this animal is not wanting or likely to bite you just because it's venomous. So I like that to be clear to most people. Just because it's a venomous snake doesn't mean that it's always out to bite. All right, let's go ahead and put him back.
I'd like to thank Luray Zoo for having us come out here and interviewing Mark and Anton. And if you're liking the series so far, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up down below, and see you next week.